Is Friday, July 31st, last day of the month. I'm going to read a verse, and I promise it's going to sound like it has no meaning whatsoever, but it does. Numbers chapter 36, verse 9 says this: Thus, no inheritance shall be transferred from one tribe to another tribe, for the tribes of the sons of Israel shall each hold to his own inheritance. What does that have to do with anything? Well, it was a solution. This was a statement from God on inheritance rights within the tribes of Israel. This was sparked because of several chapters earlier, back in around 27 or so, when the daughters of Zelophehad were given the inheritance of the land of their father. Now, this was within the tribe of Manasseh, one of the smallest tribe of the 12 tribes. And this man, Zelophehad, he had 5 daughters, no sons. And when he died, everyone wondered, well, what's going to happen? Because at that point, inheritances were only through the male heirs. The daughters were the ones who were taken care of because they married into other families, and therefore didn't necessarily need an inheritance from their father because they were going to be part of the inheritance of another family due to marrying a husband. So here we have a man who had 5 daughters, no sons. He passes away. What happens? Well, Zelophehad's daughters are given the inheritance for themselves. Very unusual, but it definitely showed that God was not going to be against women getting an inheritance. It was just simply a tactic of the time. So here they get this inheritance, and now the question arises: well, what happens to them? When they marry or whatever, are those lands going to pass to whatever tribe their husbands are from? And that's where this verse comes down. The Lord's solution here is that no inheritance is going to pass from one tribe to another. Each tribe was going to retain the land that it was given. So no family was going to lose their inheritance. I think it's interesting. God never changes. Yesterday, today, forever. He's always going to be the same. So when we become Christians and we remain faithful to the end, our inheritance is just as sure as the land inheritance that was given to these tribes in Israel. We don't have to worry about whether or not we're going to end up in heaven as long as we're faithful. Now keep in mind, there's a caveat there, that we have to be faithful unto death. It requires diligence. It requires hard work. It requires the fact that we've got to try to stay faithful as the day we first became a Christian and grow stronger in the Lord. We've been reading in Hebrews on our Wednesday night studies that growth is expected. You're not supposed to stay exactly the same as the moment that you first came to Christ. You are to grow. You are to mature. You are to bear fruit. In other words, share the gospel. And if you're doing this, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to gain an inheritance. It's already there. It's been paid for by Christ. What a great thought as we get ready to head into the weekend. What a great way to remember that if we're faithful, our inheritance is sure. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.